Hey guys, what's up? Bret here, and these are my 10 minimalist habits to achieving financial freedom faster. So let's jump right into it. So this is my sofa, and it's also my bed. This is my table where I work, and it's also where I eat. This is my wardrobe. These are all the clothes that I own. Okay, that's not actually my wardrobe, but for the last 2 weeks it has been, because I'm currently locked up here in Singapore doing 14 days stay-at-home quarantine. But seriously though, for the past 6 months, I've stopped giving a crap about other people's opinion of me. And this is habit number 1 to achieving financial freedom. Because when you care too much about what other people think, you spend so much money on shit that you don't need to keep up with the current trends, and feel like you're being weird or stingy if you prioritize investing and saving your money versus spending it having fun. And a book that I found really helped me get into this mindset is a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson, and I'll put a link down in the description in case you're interested. So, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom, or at least how I see it, is not having to make every decision based on money, not having to think about money all of the time, basically. You can take extended time to spend with loved ones, and you can spend more time doing the things that you love, like going for an afternoon jog. If achieving financial freedom sounds like something that you want in your life, then let me know by subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and dropping a comment down below. Minimalist habit number 2, stop buying shit, especially shit that you can't afford. Don't buy or rent a house or an apartment that you can't afford. This is going to cripple your monthly budget and leave you feeling demoralized about the amount of money that you've got left to work with. Instead, live within your means, or even better yet, well below your means, and just buy what you absolutely need. To stop buying shit is one of the main things that you can do that has the biggest impact on starting to live life as a minimalist. Now, not many of you guys are going to know this about me, but I actually worked as a project manager in London for a construction company, earning a decent salary of £50,000 a year before bonuses. At the time, that was a lot of money for me, and it still is, and I never used to really think twice about buying something. If I wanted it, I would just go out and buy it, because I had the disposable income to be able to do that, and I never prioritized saving or investing my money. And I found that by cutting back on my spending and not buying anything unless it serves a purpose, I was able to quit that job and invest more time into myself. Okay, the next habit number 3, is to not fall for lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens as your expenses increase along with your income. As your income increases, it's natural to want to get new things, to want to get a fancier car, to go on more vacations, and after all, because you're now earning more money, it seems totally feasible. And this, in a lot of cases, stems from social expectations, from what other people think about you. You earn more money, people expect you to upgrade your life. But if you stop giving a shit what other people think, this is going to help you tremendously with this habit. Take Warren Buffett, for example, the legendary Wall Street investor. Warren Buffett in 2008 was the richest man in the world, and he still lives in the same house that he bought for $31,500 in 1958. So as you can see, no lifestyle inflation there on his part in regards to his house at least, because it's just not necessary. Number 4 then, habit number 4 is to sell everything that doesn't serve a purpose in your life. Dig out all of the clutter that is probably clogging up your mind. And here I'm not talking about going hardcore Marie Kondo and just tidying things up, because this theory still prizes personal effects, which runs counter to actually becoming a minimalist. In fact, a 2020 study investigating the psychological benefits of minimalism found that nearly all participants believed that cluttered, chaotic homes was the cause and result of a cluttered and chaotic mind, and vice versa. You can start selling your stuff and decluttering your home one room at a time, or perhaps start with the bulkiest stuff first, and you'll find that as you start doing this, you'll become more and more motivated to keep doing more. I personally moved out of my London flat earlier this year, and I actually found it pretty easy to get rid of stuff that I don't need. I actually enjoyed doing it. Minimalist habit number 5, your wardrobe. I know that choosing what you wear can feel empowering because it gives you a sense of individualism, but we can't expect to be spending loads and loads of money on clothes and at the same time expect our financial situation to improve. I mean, it's just not how it works. It's not how the world works. Now, I'm not trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't wear. I'm just sharing my experiences, and implementing this habit into my life has allowed me to become more minimalist, but also more financially free. I used to buy a lot of expensive things, and in particular, t-shirts were my thing. But since then, I've gone back to basics. Over the last couple of years, I haven't bought a single t-shirt that isn't non-branded and plain. And this can save you so much time in the morning. Instead of spending 10 minutes choosing what you want to wear, 10 minutes actually ironing it, and then 5 minutes maybe to put it on, you don't have to do any of that. And instead of starting your day off slow by making these decisions, you can actually start your day faster and be out the door quicker and be in a more positive mindset for not having to have made those decisions already. And one idea that I've seen someone else suggest in regards to your clothing is to pair some simple clothing, so like a simple t-shirt and some shorts or some jeans, with something more fancy, so maybe a fancy pair of shoes or sneakers. And this way you can still dress to impress, but in a minimalist way. Okay, so minimalist habit number 6. Here we're talking about renting or borrowing things instead of always buying them. I used to think that this one felt a little bit taboo, to rely on others or just feeling as though I was being a tight ass for not buying the things that I needed. But in the end, I just thought, screw it. I may as well just ask to borrow something, or I may as well just rent it if it's something that I'm only going to use once or twice, and otherwise it's just going to be kept in my cupboard. And what I found here is that borrowing things in particular is much easier than you'd expect, and people love to help. People love to help out by lending you things because it makes you feel good to help others. One example of this is baby clothes. So my wife is currently 36 weeks pregnant, and because she's going to pop any day and the baby's going to be here, we've been thinking about buying clothes, we've been thinking about renting clothes, because we've been told that babies only wear clothes once, twice, maybe 3 times, and then they outgrow it. So renting clothes is something that I think we're definitely going to do. We're going to look into doing that throughout the different stages of the baby's life. I guess every couple of months you need to look at changing the clothes, and instead of buying new ones and then wasting hundreds and thousands of dollars or pounds on it, we'll just rent them. However, there is obviously another side to this. For example, camera gear. I buy all of my camera gear because I use it so regularly. If I know that I'm going to use something regularly and it makes sense to buy it over renting it because it's going to cost me more money, then of course I buy things. So there is a flip side to this argument as well. And what I've actually found by researching this video is that our society is becoming more of a sharing economy than it ever has before. People are starting to prioritize having access to things rather than owning things. So the concept of being able to rent and borrow things more often is going to probably become more and more easy in the coming years. All right then, number 7, avoid unnecessary upgrades. And here I'm talking about things like buying the latest iPhone 12. Unless you're buying it for business reasons and to be able to be more productive in your life, then it's probably not a purchase that you need to make. I still use my iPhone 7 that I bought back in 2016, and it does everything that I need to do. It still functions perfectly well, and until it doesn't, I'm just going to keep using it. In fact, since the first iPhone was launched back in 2007, there's been 20 new models come out. If you were to have bought the newest one every year, you would have spent over $11,000, and a lot of people do this. Maybe not buying it outright, but maybe by buying it via a contract, which actually ends up even more expensive. During the same period, I've only had 3 phones, which cost me $2,000. The first one wasn't even an iPhone, the second one was an iPhone 4, and the third one, which I'm currently still using, is my iPhone 7. With these phones, and during this time, I've always been able to download the latest apps and take decent photos, and it's been perfectly fine. I've not needed to upgrade to any of the others, hence why I haven't wasted the money on it. And if you want to take this one step further, actually call your service provider, and instead of asking for an upgrade, ask for a cheaper plan. I do this all the time and almost always get a discount for the exact same product that I'm already receiving, just because I asked. I've done this with my phone provider, and I actually got 6 months free the following year just for asking. I've also done it with my internet provider and my car insurance as well. Habit number 8 then is to reduce the amount of surfaces, to reduce the amount of cupboards that you have in your house. Because the less surfaces that you have and the less cupboards that you have, the less shit you're going to put in them cupboards and on them surfaces. Now, filling our surfaces and our cupboards with our belongings, with our stuff, is just a natural thing to do and something that can't be helped by most people, including myself. And it's not just your surfaces and your cupboards, it's actually any furniture that you have. For example, I'm currently working on a budget for developing our house, and within that budget, I'm trying to keep everything to a minimum for exactly this reason. And also because any expense to go towards furniture and things like that are going to come out of my investment portfolio, which is just not something I want to do. Whereas if I'm adding something to the house because it's going to improve its resale value, that's something that I'll definitely think about taking the money out of my investment portfolio to spend on, because it's another investment. Okay, habit number 9 then. Cancel any subscriptions that you have that you no longer need, that you no longer use. Amazon Prime, for example. If you've got it, you're probably going to use it, because otherwise it's a waste, right? But the truth is, actually, the stuff that you're buying through your Amazon account is probably just as wasteful. So if you ditch your Amazon Prime account, you're not going to have the urge to go and buy these things, because the chances are, if you can't get immediate access to it, if you're not going to get it delivered tomorrow, you probably won't buy it. Another example is Netflix. Instead of binge watching, I don't know, Breaking Bad, just head to the gym. Now, prioritizing your time to things that are going to make you more productive will actually make you more efficient with that time that you're prioritizing. And you'll be less likely to find yourself scrolling through, I don't know, ASOS, because, well, you've got nothing better to do with your time. Except you do have something better to do with your time, so do it. All right, habit number 10 is to plan your day in advance, to have goals to tick off the next day. This is something that I've started doing in the last 6 months, and as well as actually helping me be more productive the next day, it actually helps me get out of bed earlier as well. Planning your day and having a to-do list, in my opinion, is really, really important if you want to achieve financial freedom, because the level of dedication that it takes to do this every day spills over into what you're actually doing. Now, a typical to-do list doesn't have to be super complex. You don't have to plan every hour of the day, and just by planning your meals, or maybe even preparing your meals the night before, so that the next day you're good to go out the door as soon as possible, can save you so much time procrastinating about otherwise having to make those decisions throughout the day. Okay, so the last one, habit number 11, is avoiding sales, and in particular, Amazon Prime Day and Black Friday. It might seem like the deal of the century when you see $2,000 off a fancy new shiny LED curved TV, but the truth of it is you're still spending $1,000 or £1,000 on that item, which do you really need it? Probably not if you've already got a TV that already functions at home. Now, I know that sometimes you actually can get genuinely amazing deals, and if it's something that you actually need, or something that maybe you don't even need, but it's gonna make you happy, then it's probably gonna be worth the investment. The whole point here is that we're trying to find the right balance between wanting and needing stuff now versus not getting it now and saving that money and investing it to be able to afford more in the future. Lastly then, and in my experience, I have found that you actually have to know why you want to be financially free in order to be able to get there. Okay guys, so they are my 11 minimalist habits to help you work towards being financially free, towards achieving financial freedom. If you're still here and enjoyed the video, make sure that you drop a like below and subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.